If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Well, we can definitely say that there were no cuts in the cloth, yeah. At the same time, however, the blood definitely tells us she was killed during the seance.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
For a living wait, what?
Huh?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
Really? We're going with the spirit mumbo jumbo again? Like, ooh! Let's scary Kaito even more. Ooh.
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
Come on, Kaito.
Stop that now. Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Come on, Himiko.
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well, maybe it's not as impossible as may seem. I mean, good God, Kokichi. I am tired of this. Can we just think logically about this, please? You're kidding me here.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that!
wait, I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Eh? Wait, how? There was no space in the cage for two people. Kaito, you're making me dumber by making me question the possibility when it's not possible. Come on.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
You gotta be kidding me.
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have
I agree
noticed.
with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
But what do you mean she could have been? Wait, are you and Kaito planning something here? What the fuck is going on? You do?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
And just like Shuichi said, you would have noticed by now if there were two people in the cage.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
Eh? What you talking about, yo? The day she's referring to. What? Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage? That they didn't need to hide. And they could have done it at any given time. Rantaro? I do have to wonder what happens if the timer runs out. Let's see. Time's up. You really don't know? I thought at least a detective like you could figure it out. I have no comment. Like, what is she referring? It feels like a riddle here when I'm thinking about it. The way Maki is saying it. No. Are you seriously referring to that possibility? Are you? Where is she? Are you kidding me?
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
Oh, good Christ, Purple. You're all kidding me here.
What did you say? Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
That she killed herself? Nah, that doesn't add up.
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
Why?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out.
I mean, yeah, it would explain, but there are other things that just don't add up. I refuse to believe that this is what happened.
She volunteered to be in the cage and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
Okay, well, tell me why. Why would she do that?
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right?
Yeah, that is a good point, among many other points. How did the sickle end up under the floor if she was the one who did it?
If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Wow. Can't believe that I see cum dumpster being right for once. And legit agreeing with her here. That's refreshing, that's for sure.
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Oh my god. We have to call the presses. For once, cum dumpster is being smarter than almost everybody around here.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed.
Eh?
After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
Well, in that case, riddle me this. How is it possible for Tenko to move the floorboard while under the cage? While she was standing on it, mind you. With the cage and the statue on top.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Nah, it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I have a fuck ton of questions about this.
There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey Angie, when did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
Really? Seriously, like, Tenko would never do such a thing. Given what she said before we started the seance, like her last words, it just doesn't add up. There is no evidence that points towards Tenko being Angie's killer. I need to be convinced here.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
Then again, of course, Kokichi could lie about this as well, so... bleh. What do I know?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Okay, now you're just bullshitting us. I mean, who would believe such a thing?
Take us down?
You're just breaking my soul. You're just breaking my soul here, Kokichi. How about you actually give us proof that to what you're saying? Can you show us actual conclusive proof that she committed suicide? Can you show us some evidence that tells us that she killed Angie? Can you show us actual proof that she wanted to take us all down? What was your childhood like? Did you get beaten by your parents a lot? Was your father alcoholic? Did somebody murder your puppy? Can you tell me?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
Why? Why would she ever think that way?
Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
What are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. He told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
Why in the world would that be a lie? What would be the point of lying to her like that? For what purpose? Can you prove it to us that it was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait! We should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer.
So that's your answer? That's why you're saying that Tenko wanted to kill us all? Because of mistrust? No actual conclusive evidence that she really planned all this to kill us all? Just mistrust? You bring up Maki as an example to not trust people? Okay, fine. Let's say that maybe Tenko lied. Can you prove it to us? Prove us that Tenko is not who we thought she was? Cause if you can't, then you have no fucking right to say anything here. You don't trust anyone around here, so why should we listen when you don't even tell us in great detail Tenko's situation?
Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Okay, Kokichi, can you just be direct over here and tell us what the fuck you're trying to do here? No, of course not. You are definitely planning something over here, and you're not even gonna tell us.
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down.
Yeah, that's right. I refuse to believe such an outrageous idea, both from a logical perspective and from a belief perspective. I don't believe Tenko would be able to do such a thing.
That's what I want to believe!
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
No, it wouldn't. Come on, Maki, you are better than that.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
Okay, we definitely can. Proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
Yeah, we do need your help in this one, Maki. Tenko did commit suicide, and we are gonna prove it. I don't believe Tenko would kill herself, because of what she said.
Okay, everyone. I'll see you guys after the seance.
She said, see you guys after. I thought she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. We shouldn't be satisfied with that. And if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. Yeah. We're not gonna leave this case unsolved by simply saying that it was a suicide. There are inconsistencies that tell us otherwise, so we have to reach the truth, for her sake. I'll make them all believe. Alrighty then. Debate. The cage shall Tenko's last moments.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly grabbed the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
But how? How was she able to move the floorboard while she was standing on it? With the cage and the statue being on top of her. Also, this is a perjury debate. Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they are latching onto the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think their suicide theory wouldn't work. I mean, based on what Shuichi said to Maki before, it definitely seems like we need her help to lie.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it!
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
Actually, hold on, let me just say about this. Tenko died in a crouched position. The injury on the back of her neck was deep, but probably not enough to kill her immediately. Not enough to kill her immediately. If we are to think about it, if she died immediately, that means she wouldn't have been able to hide the sickle under the floor.
So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
Tenko died
Tenko
instantly.
did commit suicide. It would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it!
I think I'm seeing it.
Finally, with the last of her strength,
Ah! Hold on! Let me see if this is actually gonna work. Yeah, there you go.
I'll reveal the truth.
Caught you! Fucking lie.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor. Because she died instantly.
instantly,
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
Yep. Which can pretty much tell us that it was impossible for Tenko to have thrown the sickle under the floor. You know, besides the other reason why I think it's impossible. The reason that I kept mentioning time and time again. But, you know what, this reason works too. She died instantly, so she couldn't have done anything.
what?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Monkey.
How could you forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Oh, that's great. Kaito is trying to help us in our plan. No. I have a fear he may screw our plan if he keeps talking now. I'm just saying.
Excuse me?
Kaito, you're gonna get another punch in the face soon enough.
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Hey!
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
Pretty much. Now, we have to think back on how she got killed during the seance.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
Ah! Here you go. This is perfect. Yeah, we noticed something very peculiar during the seance.
If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery. Oh, I got you covered here. I think I know what we're gonna use, like right away. Let's see. Yep, I'm already seeing it.
The ordinary during the seance?
The truth is right in front of me.
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Oh?
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there. I mean, it was totally pitch black. My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls was seriously tough.
It was pitch black during the seance. That limits what could have happened. Just stay calm and think. There must be some kind of clue.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me.
Magic
The
circle
fact that the seance
that
failed.
Kokichi drew.
The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed.
What is the deal with this
How
magic
utterly
circle, though?
strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Ah, there you go. V-point, V-point, V-point. Yes!
I agree.
I agree with you, Hibiko. Hooray!
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
It was thunk, not bang.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
Maybe it wasn't something that fell, but it sure felt like something heavy, don't you think?
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. What caused the sound that was heard during the seance? I can tell you that... Actually, hold on, let me see. Sound, marker stone, loose floorboards. It can definitely be either the loose floorboard or the iron cage. Or the dog statue. Let's see with this loose floorboard first.
This is it!
Yeah, there you go.
I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
could the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. Yep. You would have needed quite a lot of force to loosen the floorboard while Tenko was standing on it, and the cage and the dog statue. It wasn't easy for the floorboard to move, unless it was something really loud that did it. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Oh. Hopefully I didn't miss anything there. Didn't think that it was automatic. Alright.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
No,
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
that's true.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
Huh?
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose
Whoa.
when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Oh.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
The best of friends. Come, Dumpster and her balls. Balls, balls, balls. What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? Yeah. Come, Dumpster was partially right. But there is something that somebody said that I'm definitely gonna have to agree with. If I think about everyone's testimony and combine it with the facts.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound. Maybe the wooden statue fell over. But that statue was still on top
It
of the
would
cage.
seem that what I thought before the trial may end up being true.
Then stood up with such might.
I'll be. Let's
But
see.
we already said there was no one under the floor.
Let's see if I'm actually gonna be right.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Damn it. Oh, wow. It actually still hit the statement while it was rotating. Wow.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
Damn it. That's actually pretty funny. Sorry I didn't get the viewpoint, but I'm glad that the statement just went back like that.
But floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the crosspiece?
What did they stand to gain? And that's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end on a loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Just as I thought. Only one of the crosspieces was cut, the other two were intact. One of them was right under Tenko, and the other one was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? It gives you an idea. And that idea well, actually fit with everything we said before, about everything we talked about before, about the placement of the sickle, about the positioning of Tenko. It actually fits. Think. Come on, think. Alright, Chi-Chi. I'll help. Okay, I was about to say that I'm gonna help you, but given the fact that it's a Hangman's Gambit... Oh, okay. They gave us the first letter. Because of the skill that I got. Although, is that really enough? What happened when the loose floorboard was stepped on? Okay. E... W... A... Okay, well, let's see. It's either an E or an A. First. Okay. S-W-E... S-W-E... Seance? Wait, seance? Seance for what? Oh, there's also an F. Wait, so hold on, what is the answer exactly? What happened when the loose floorboard was stepped on? Well, one side went up and one side went down. So... C? Okay, it's definitely not the seance. It's C something. Seesaw? Yeah, because it is like a seesaw, actually, when you think about it. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely Seesaw. Okay. I actually didn't think about it that way. I didn't imagine the seesaw thing. It actually is quite like Seesaw. Okay. Well, what about this though? That's a second word. Seesaw. Seesaw what? T F C E E F F E Seesaw effect? E F E F. Okay. Maybe it is effect. Yeah, it's definitely effect now. The seesaw effect. Oh. That's a nice way of putting it. The seesaw effect.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
As a seesaw.
Yeah? A seesaw?
Man, I haven't been on a seesaw in a long time.
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever.
Thus, it fits with the placement of the sickle, which was on top of the cage. Instead of bringing the sickle to the victim, they brought the victim to the sickle. Very interesting.
A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yep. And it actually explains the sound, like the loud sound that we heard during the seance.
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that, unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
Actually, did they even talk about the positioning of the sickle? No, actually. Okay, my bad. I think I went with my own idea. I don't think that these people have even talked about the positioning of the sickle throughout this whole thing. Or did they? I don't remember. Because I thought of that idea as something that was discussed already. Something that we agreed on, but no. Okay.
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Yeah, okay, now we're okay. Yeah, it is the top of the cage.
That's it! The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down.
I mean, it fits. The sickle can fit through the poles with just the blade. And it actually explains the blood on top of the cage and underneath the sheath in the middle.
The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position.
But if you bring the body to the sickle, it would actually work.
But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
Yeah. Definitely thinking outside the box.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
And it actually explains why the floorboard was loose in the first place. It wasn't that Tenko moved it by herself. It was impossible for her to do that. Somebody else moved the floorboard with using force.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
That is actually a pretty interesting name. The murder case of the Seesaw killer.
Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
Call the presses! It's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, Culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
What?
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the Seesaw homicide.
Her?
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one capable of carrying out this plan, you say?
The only one? Why's that?
Because this Seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
You did say that before. So that's your reasoning for saying that she's the culprit. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use?
The middle room. The middle room's always best for stuff like this.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
It begins again! Himiko is being wrongly accused again.
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
Somehow. How exactly?
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
So you're saying that she was waiting for the opportunity for Kyo to use the seance in order to do this?
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
I think it's official. This class trial is actually, like, actively trying to break me by accusing Himiko, like, over and over and over and over. They know that I wouldn't be so good with that.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Oh, come on, Himiko. You're tearing me apart here! You know that you didn't do this! You don't... You really believe that you killed her?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
She knows that she hasn't done this. She's probably thinking that people keep accusing her. And now... Is it true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea? But does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? something like that really happen? Something so cruel.
Well now.
Looks like we've reached the intermission segment, which means it's time for our... Guess the Victim Quiz! A victim quiz? Not a culprit quiz? The only victims are the people who are still watching this drawn-out, boring crap. Why are you being such a downer all of a sudden?
It's okay.
It is okay. I'm sure everyone is happy. Well, how do you know? They could be skipping this entire conversation for all you know.
Well, you're not half wrong. I do feel tempted to just skip this by just going on fast forward speed. By just fast forwarding this, but no, I cannot do that. It is a series after all. I have to show like everything. Oh, mostly everything.
I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm the real victim here. Me! Why are you getting upset? If anything, I'm the real victim. I gotta put up with all this nonsense all the time.
Absolutely right.
That's the right answer, one of them. Why? He hasn't said anything.
Nope, but his actions speak clearly what his answer is.
Hey,
Exactly, because there are no victims. Yep, even if you're killed in this killing game, you're a winner. Because then everyone mourns you, and you get tons of posthumous popularity.
Can't say that he's entirely wrong about that one, I guess. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the survivors are getting the shaft because of that. Because they didn't die, and they do not get, like, popularity after their death.
Daddy!
Oh, Danny, you don't need to reveal this kind of behind-the-scenes details.
All right.
That makes you more popular? And we gotta die soon, too.
No, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna become more popular if you die. In fact, the other ones that died, I actually forgot their names. Like, what was the name of that blue guy? I forgot. Was it like Monosuke or Monotaro? No, that was Monotaro is the green bear's name. I forgot. What was it, like Monophony? No, that's the green guy. Monokuma? No, he's like right here. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, see, I already forgot about the first two. Whatever the fuck they are. I don't even remember. Were they even bears? I think they were robots, but I'm not really quite sure.